What's up, cereal bowls? It's your favorite crazy cereal, InsaneAppleJackz. How are you all doing? Because I'm doing super duper chill. You might be wondering why you're looking at a giant white space. Well, once again, it's time for some box opening. And today, we just happen to be opening an Aputure product. For those of you that don't know Aputure, they're a company that produces camera products. We're not sponsored by them, but it just happened to be something that we needed for the setup if we're going to do more unboxings in the future, as well as our other side projects, because we're getting some next level imaging. So, with that being said, let's crack into this box and see what's inside. So flipping over the giant box so we can get better access to the top and have an overall better opening experience, we're gonna grab our handy dandy scissors and crack this baby right open. We're gonna grab our handy dandy blade and crack this baby right open. So after some adjustment of our setup and breaking past the first layer of tape, we can see that our package is, well, quite secure with super extra thick foam on all the sides as far as I can tell, with the top piece of foam right here being the thinnest and these other sides being super secure. But we're going to yank our baby right out and skip past. But we're going to attempt to yank our baby right out. So now that it's burst out of its outer shell, let me give you a proper introduction. This is the Amaran 200X by Aputure. It is a LED bicolor light. And while some of you might be confused on why we're covering this light today, it just happens to be one of the lights that I consider a dream light for myself. Taking a look at the back of this well-packaged light, you can see that it comes with the light fixture itself, a sort of housing in order to shape the light so it's not just beaming in a direction, as well as its power adapter and a power cord. Besides just boasting the ability to do bicolor, this light also has the ability to be controlled via So we open up into the box and past another giant piece of foam. Man, to consider the fact that they write fragile on the side of this box, you would never be able to believe it considering all the foam and extra measures that they take in order to secure the package. We have our manual, of course. We have instructions on using the Bluetooth app that you use in order to control the light. We have some stickers to go possibly on the side of it, possibly somewhere else, who knows. And then let's break into the real meat and potatoes. First up, we have a pretty beefy power supply that is almost reminiscent of a laptop power supply in some ways. Like, dude, look at this thing. It is a chunker. Now I see why battery power on this light isn't really an option. Next up, we have our dome hood. And our dome hood is in order to reflect the light. As you can see, it's reflecting my light off to the side right here. And this is a means of getting more light, spreading it out in order to actually disperse it and not just have a giant hotspot. It's made of aluminum, and boy does it have a nice feel to it overall, in terms of quality and just paint. And then we pull out our power supply cord, which, man, when I said it was reminiscent of a laptop charger, I wasn't expecting this to be so reminiscent of a computer's power supply cord. So honestly, you can tell that this beefy thing takes some power. If I read the specs up while we're doing this, I'll sit up here and put some stats on how much it actually draws. But finally, the true centerpiece of this whole thing is the light itself, which has a protective cover on it in order to protect the bulb at the moment. As you can see on the sides, it has the Amaran branding. On the back, we have a pretty basic screen and knob adjustment for changing out the output if you don't want to use the application itself. Back here we have our power supply input as well as our on-off switch. And all around here you can see there's a hive comb pattern on it, which makes for a good aesthetic, but it also is in order to vent the light itself, because these lights get pretty hot. Inside of this light there's I forget the actual sizing of it, but there's a fan inside of it. And originally, one of the biggest complaints about said fan was the noise levels when recording, but the reason I ended up actually going through and pulling the trigger on it is because they released the update which lowered the noise profile. Then down here, I just wanted to show off the attachment hardware itself. All in all, I say the light has a pretty nice feel to it, with a mixture of metal and plastics all around to give it a sturdier feel in some spots, and in other spots a lightness that doesn't make it too heavy. So while I wouldn't suggest to give it a fall or a hit, it feels like it could take a fall or a hit by comparison just because of its heft. So this is where we get into the practical application section of this overview. For this, I've taken sample photos using the same camera, which is my Canon T5i, and the same lens, the 24-105. Though the difference here will be my lights. For comparison's sake, I'll be using one of my newer 660 RGB panels, as the kit for the 660 pair of lights is roughly around the same price range. It's something that seems like a common starting place as far as lighting goes, and it's the only other thing I really have to compare it against, so it makes sense. So currently I'm flashing pictures on the screen between the two lights. In addition to the light labels themselves, I added both the power output I set the lights to as well as the camera settings. This is important because it keeps everything on a level playing field for perspective. As you can see by now, the Aputure Amaran 200X is doing the job of the newer 660, if not better, at a 1/10 of the power scale, which this output is important because it allows for a lot more play in the camera settings. The more play you're allowed with your settings, the better you can get your detailing for an image. Though after that, I didn't budge too far from this because I didn't know how much of a fair playing field it would actually be from there. What I can say as the takeaway to this is, I'm excited to have the Amaran 200X, as it offers new possibilities in both shoots and content. And while I put it against my newer LED panel, this isn't to downplay the importance of that light either, as a good setup is more than just a single light. It's all the tools at your hand and how you use them together. That being said, I can't wait to do more stuff now that I have this light in my toolkit. But till then, I'm going to send you guys to the end of the box. We are back at the end of the box where we just finished another super amazing video, which I gotta say thank you dudes for watching. Whether you're new or old, I appreciate you for checking this video out. Speaking of new dudes, welcome in. If you subscribe, thank you for that. And welcome to the Cereal Bowl Nation, the greatest nation on the internet. If you ain't know it, now you know it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, which If you did, hit that like button or share with someone you think might like it, as it spreads the word. As for spreading the word, feel free to leave a comment down below, whether you want to say hi, whether you want to tell me what you think about the lights that I showed off, or if you're a photographer yourself and you want to talk about some of the gear you got. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Finally, if you're looking for more of me, there's additional videos on the channel, including the videos that are currently showing up top, as well as a mega link down in the description with all of my other social medias. But with that being said, I'm InsaneAppleJackz. Munch, munch, munch. Peace out, and that's a wrap.